welcome back to snowy Druskininkai, Lithuania for the 2025 European Sub-Junior and Junior Classic Powerlifting Championships. My name is Erasm Ivans. I am joined today by a very special guest, Sophia Ellis. How are you feeling, Sophia?
Great, thank you. I'm excited to be here. How are you doing?
I am doing fine considering it's morning. We're gonna have the 74 and the 83 kilo sub-junior men's B groups this morning, and in the afternoon we're gonna have the A groups. So the medals and the podium places, for the most part, will be decided in the afternoon, but never count out a B group specialist for perhaps a single lift medal. We're gonna see, and we will be heading into the 74 kilo sub-junior squats first in about 30 seconds time. We have 10 lifters, openers ranging from 160 to up to 210 kilos. Ten lifters, looks like a couple are missing. We're gonna take a look at the nominations here. 24 lifters in totals. It should have been 12 and 12, but from the looks of it, a couple people have not appeared. Unfortunate, but does make the competition run smoother. And we're going to be starting off with Saba Berzeni of Georgia, opening at 160 kilos.
Really easy squat that. Nice opener.
Yeah, 3 white lights. How do you select the weight for an opening attempt, especially in the squats, since it's the first lift of the day?
For the opener squat, generally a number that you can hit on in any kind of situation. I'd roughly go around 87.5% of your 1 rep max usually.
Very mathematical approach, but I would agree. And we already have our second competitor, Nojus Matukinas of Lithuania, 162.5 on the bar.
So 1 red there, I'm assuming for depth.
Yeah, red light from the center referee. We're gonna see a replay from the side and we can judge for ourselves.
Did look a little bit borderline there, but seems like a good lift there.
Yeah, we have a great view of the jury here, and from the looks of it, the lift will stand. And we're moving off to Nathaniel Kinzelberg of Israel, 167.5 on the bar.
Again, another very comfortable opener.
As they should be. He has one of the uprights in the combo rack collapsed to the inside. What would that be about?
With the one arm on into the inside. Sometimes that's due to just their positioning, or sometimes some people will hit the rack on the way out of the lift and only on one side, so we tend to put it inwards. Especially with these racks, they can be a little bit more bulky, so...
Athanasios Kotsivkas of Greece going for 172.5. And that is another 3 white lights, another comfortable opening attempt. Joseph Woodward of Ireland up next, 185 on the bar.
Three white lights there, another lovely lift. Yeah, you'll notice that a lot of the lifters will have the arms inwards actually for this combo rack.
Or perhaps the uprights do tend to be slightly bulkier than on some of the skinnier racks, and that makes the lifters with a more aggressive walkout hit them on the way out. Alexandros Proestos of Cyprus going for 190.
Good lift. A little bit more work on the way up there, but nicely done.
And that's not how you usually want your opening attempt to move. We're gonna take a look at the replay, see if there was an obvious technical mistake here.
Looked like he held position pretty well on the way up. But yeah, a little bit harder than we would like, but good lift.
Aivaras Paskevicius of Lithuania, 192.5 on the bar, with 4 opening attempts remaining.
Very speedy that was.
And we are into the 200 kilo range. Engin Deniz Ilter of Turkey opening at 200 kilos, 17.5 below his stated personal best. No, above his stated personal best.
Very good lift, and looks like he's on for a big PB today.
Absolutely. And we have 2 more opening attempts remaining at 205 and then 210. And looking at the nominations, the squat medals might be somewhere in the vicinity of 230. So these 2 athletes with some big jumps, with a really good squat session, might be in with a shot. Of course, the A group in the afternoon will know what they did and will have the chance to surpass them, but might give themselves an alright chance at a single lift medal. This is Georgi Ivanov of Bulgaria going for 205.
A very nice controlled squat there.
And for the final opener of the 74 kilo sub-junior B group, we have Krzysztof Kozak of Hungary, 210 kilos for his first attempt, 5 kilos off his PB.
Again, another one for a big PB today.
And a super wide stance here. We're gonna take a look at that from the side. stances like this can be deceiving in terms of depth visibility, but I think he's quite convincing there.
Yeah, that looked very convincing to me.
And we are off into round 2. All of the athletes have made their opening attempts. We have everyone on the board. And in round 2, they can start pushing a little. 167.5 on the bar for Nojus Matukinas of Lithuania.
That actually looked better than his opener attempt there.
Yeah, pretty comfortable. So we've established how you select an opening attempt. How do you then proceed on to the second in case of these guys who have all been successful in their opening attempts?
Essentially, you'd obviously go based off how your opener moved and then make the jump from there. Generally speaking, we'd say second attempt is around a 2 rep max. So
172.5 on the bar for Saba Berzeni of Georgia.
nice, 3 white lights. Again, a little bit harder out the hole, but this may be just how he squats.
Might be. We're gonna see what they put up for a third attempt and whether he makes it. Of course, we always hope they do. $10-kilo jump up to 177.5 on the bar for Nathaniel Kinzenberg of Israel.
Very comfortable there. I noticed that he has his feet, one foot turned out a little bit more than the other. Did you notice that?
Yeah, perhaps just slight asymmetry of the body. Humans are, in most cases, not perfectly symmetrical. Athanasios Kotsivkas of Greece, 185 on the bar. This will be a 7.5-kilo personal best for the Greek athlete.
Red there from centre ref, looking like a depth call. Jury is just having a look at the replay.
I think he should be in the depth ballpark here. Oh, maybe no. Jury has overruled the previous attempt. That is unfortunate. That is our first miss of the day.
It did look like quite a comfortable lift, so hopefully he'll get it on his third.
192.5 on the bar for Joseph Woodward of Ireland.
Nice, lovely lift there.
$195 on the bar for Alexandros Proestos of Cyprus. 5-kilo jump, rather small. We've seen those more in the lighter weight categories, but
Yeah, it is different to see a 5-kilo jump. It's usually around a 10-kilo jump from first to second with this kind of weight, but maybe it was the right call.
Yeah, the 5 kilos definitely seemed like they were the right call. I think even his opener was not the fastest, and I might have forgot about it.
Sometimes it's safer just to take the kilos where you can and just build a total.
Absolutely. He has a really pronounced sticking point right in the middle of the lift. So, really a gamble how much he can put up for a third. 205 on the bar for Aivaras Paskevicius of Lithuania.
Three white lights there. Very smooth lift.
Three lifts remaining in round two. Engin Deniz Ilter of Turkey, 207.5. Already did a huge personal best with his opening attempt. Now looking to extend it a further 7.5.
Lovely. Three white lights. Definitely got more in the tank there as well.
$2.15 now for Georgi Ivanov of Bulgaria.
One red from the side there. Another depth call.
And not the fastest second attempt, but seemed to be well under control there. What do you think of the depth?
Again, I can see why the ref has done that on that side. The hip did look a little bit high, but jury seemed to be happy with it.
Right then, so we go to the second of our, to the last of our second attempts. Krzysztof Kozak of Hungary, 217.5. Looks easy.
Another red from the side there. The depth.
This one, it did look like he cut depth from his first attempt, and the jury immediately overrules it. I think they even saw it live.
It definitely looks a bit higher than his opener for sure, especially when you sync your opener.
Right, so the results heading into round three. Ivanov currently in the lead with 2:15, Kozak at 2:10 in second, and Ilter with 2:07.5 in third, but of course all subject to change in the afternoon when the A group arrives. And starting off round three, we have Nojus Matukinas of Lithuania, 172.5.
Unfortunately, a missed lift there. Just looked a little bit too heavy out the hole there.
Yeah, it gives it a good go. No outrageous form or technique breakdown there, just the weight was too much on the day. 175 on the bar for Saba Berzeni of Georgia. 2.5 kilo jump, the minimal you can take if you're not going for a record.
Nice. Looked like he had a little bit more in the tank there. Just maybe another 2.5.
Maybe another 2.5, but the 2.5 was, I think, a reasonable jump there. It was not way too easy for a third attempt.
Especially where he kind of drops into the hole there, it catches you out as soon as you just come out.
$187.5 now for Athanasios Kotsifkas. Got the 185, but was unfortunately overruled by the jury.
Lovely.
Yeah, looks better this time. And it's 3 white lights. No jury can overturn that one.
I'm sure he'll be happy to have got that in.
And back-to-back 10 kilo jumps for Nathaniel Kinzelberg of Israel. 187.5.
Very comfortable lift there.
Really clean third squat, considering he really was super uneven under the bar. Not just the foot positioning, but also the hand positioning.
Normally lifters will sometimes train so often like in uneven positioning that it just becomes their norm.
$197.5 on the bar for Joseph Woodward of Ireland.
Stuck with it really well there.
3 white lights and a good lift for the Irishman. Another 5 kilo jump up to 200 for Alexandros Proestos of Cyprus. Now this will not be fast, but it might go up.
Just a little bit too heavy there. Again, catches you just out the hole.
Yeah, I think the 195 was pretty much the top end on the day. Still went, tried for a 5 kilo, maybe.
Yeah, he held his position very well, just too heavy on the day.
210 kilos on the bar for Aivaras Paskevicius of Lithuania.
Very deep squat there.
Lovely third attempt from the Lithuanian.
That moved really well.
Now you don't see many lifters sinking third attempts.
That looked deeper than his second.
$215 kilos on the bar for Engin Deniz Ilter of Turkey. Big fight there.
Lovely. 3 white lights. Feels even better when you stick with a grind like that.
Yeah, absolutely. During the grind, it feels horrible, but once you finish it, you're really proud of yourself. $217.5 for Georgi Ivanov of Bulgaria, taking the minimal jump here.
And 2 reds, unfortunately, for depth there. He did look like he descended a little bit slower into the hole of the squat.
Yeah, perhaps just didn't get the push down from the speed of the weight or inertia of the weight.
Especially on your thirds, it can be very nerve-wracking going with that kind of weight on your back.
And our final squat of the 74 kilo sub-junior B group, Krzysztof Kozak of Hungary, 225. This will be a 10 kilo personal best for him if he can get it. We'll have to wait for the lights here. It's 3 white guys this time.
Sometimes you have to take that risk and go up even after missing your second.
Absolutely, and it's all about convincing the referees, and I think he did convince them here. Was visibly deeper than the second attempt. So as things stand, top squat in the 74s B group was 225. Do you think there's any chance of that squat remaining towards the top in the category after the A group?
There's always a possibility with powerlifting. You never know. That's the thing I love about it. Anything can happen.
That is absolutely true. And we're moving on into the 83 kilo sub-juniors. Once again, 10 competitors. Openers ranging from 140 to 212.5. And we're starting off with Nikolos Rakviashvili of Georgia. 140 on the bar.
Very smooth opening attempt there. 3 white lights.
Noel Piskac of Croatia, 175 on the bar.
Again, another wide squatter and 3 white lights there. Really good depth there as well.
Ernest Smedins of Latvia going for 185 up next.
And 3 white lights, very comfortable opener.
$187.5 for Nikita Potapenko of Estonia.
Lovely, 3 white lights.
Dinis Canvas of Portugal going for 190.
Oh, just forgot to put the belt on there. It happens.
It happens, and the belt is the only piece of equipment the athlete is allowed to adjust on the platform.
A little bit harder out the hole there, but 3 white lights.
That definitely looked pretty hard for an opening attempt. Let's see the replay.
Maybe the belt threw him off a little bit, but we'll have to see with a second attempt.
Lukas Akevicius of Lithuania, 195 on the bar.
Very quick squat there, straight into the hole, straight out again.
You blink and you miss it. I almost did. Four attempts remaining in the opening round of the 83s. Alvar Corso of Finland will be up first, 200 kilos on the bar.
Lovely, very stable squat. 3 white lights. What we like to see from an opener.
Absolutely, we're really seeing the whole spectrum of openers here, from ridiculously fast to reasonably comfortable to pretty hard. Liam Hoffmans of Belgium, 205 on the bar.
Beautiful squat. Definitely could add a few more kilos onto that, I'd say.
Absolutely, another opener towards the former range of the spectrum, the easy and reasonable ones. Filip Strand up next of Finland, 210 kilos on the bar.
Three white lights, very comfortable squat. He maintained a very nice upright position there as well.
Yeah, pretty nice pre-hinge, then stands up straight so that he does not receive any source of infraction lights. And we have one final opening attempt remaining, and it's Nick Ben Hribar of Slovenia, 212.5 kilos on the bar.
That was a very speedy squat and three white lights. Everyone getting in their openers this round.
Yeah, super comfortable opener for Nick. And yeah, once again, everyone is on the board. That is what we like to see. If they get on the board, they can then push and fight in rounds 2 and 3. And the standings here, basically the reverse order of the openers. Nick Ben Hribar is leading at 212.5 with Strand in second and Hofmans in third. Of course, all very much subject to change once the A group arrives in the afternoon. But we are into round 2, 150 kilos on the bar for Nikolos Rakviashvili.
And three white lights. A little bit harder as he coming out the hole there, but also notice he weighed in very light at 75.10.
Yeah, that's almost a 74 practically. But of course he's an 09, so he still has 2 more years to grow up to 83. 187.5 for Noel Piskac of Croatia.
Another lovely squat there, 3 white lights. And another lifter who also has room to grow within the weight class.
Yeah, pretty strong second attempt. Nikita Potapenko of Estonia, 200 kilos for his second attempt.
And 3 blue cards there for downward movement. Just on the way up there, you can see the bar travels downwards just a little bit as he dips down.
That is unfortunate, and after such a hard second attempt, it's going to be hard to recover, but he will have another shot at it if he wants. Same weight on the bar, 200 kilos for Ernest Smedins.
And 3 white lights there. Good lift again.
Pretty reasonable for a second attempt.
Yeah, hold position very well up the hole there.
.200 kilos for Dinis Cambas of Portugal. This will be a 5 kilo personal best for him.
Just a bit too heavy there.
We'll take a look at the replay if there was a technical error, but that just seemed significantly too heavy.
Did also look like cut depth just a little bit, maybe just rushed it out the hole. Yeah, and just a bit too heavy.
Once again, he'll be able to have another go at it in round 3. But if it's such a clear miss, it's very, very hard to then get it on your third attempt. Lukas Akevicius of Lithuania, 205 on the bar.
Yeah, and a very speedy squat. You definitely see a range of approaches into the bottom of the squat there from the lifters.
Absolutely, and even in the slowed replay, the squat still looks faster than most of the others in the normal video. 212.5 on the bar for Alvar Korsu of Finland.
Unfortunately, not today.
We're seeing some very strange misses here in round 2. Just second attempts are significantly, well, at least seem significantly too heavy. So if we take a look at the athletes who've missed, for 2 of them, for Cambas and Potapenko, I can speculate maybe the weight cut kind of got to them, but Corso was comfortably in the category. Liam Hofmans of Belgium, 220, 15 kilo jump here.
Great squat there. 3 white lights.
Yeah, just very clean overall. And the further up we go, the bigger the jumps are. Another 15 kilo jump to 225 for Filip Strand of Finland.
What a fight.
That was very heavy for a second attempt. 2 blue lights, unfortunately. It's a 2-1, so the jury will review it. Let's see on the video if we spot a dip.
It looks pretty stable. It didn't look like it dropped too much.
If there was a dip, it was very, very minimal. And the jury does overrule it to a good lift. Fortunately, but again, a very heavy second attempt.
Yeah, take a small jump from that.
Our final second attempt, we hope this one is easier. 227.5 for Nick Ben Hribar. This will be a 7.5 kilo personal best in competition for Nick.
Very clean squat there.
Yeah, way more reasonable speed and effort for a second attempt. And as things stand going into round 2, we have Hribar once again in the lead, or still in the lead, with Strand in second and Hofmans in third. We're starting off round 3 with 155 on the bar for Nicolas Rakviashvili of Georgia. Just too heavy. So just judging from the second round of squats, 2 things can happen here. Either about half the lifts in round 3 will be missed, or they will be very, very hard. Of course, we hope for the latter, but we'll have to wait and see. 195 on the bar for Noel Piskac of Croatia.
That was lovely. Definitely could have had a little bit more weight on the bar there.
Yeah, great third attempt for the Croatian. Probably could have gone a couple of kilos more, I'd agree.
But always nice to get in all 3 squats.
It's important to build momentum throughout the competition, from squats into bench, and then a strong finish in deadlifts. 200 kilos going twice for Nikita Potapenko of Estonia. Oh, very hard. Unfortunately not deep enough.
Yeah, it looked like just cut depth again there.
And the coach is immediately sent away from the jury.
especially with that narrower stance squat, can sometimes be a little bit hard to get depth.
200 kilos stay on the bar for Dinis Cambas of Portugal. Also retaking it after missing it in round 2.
Just a bit too heavy there, unfortunately. It is a shame missing second and third, as you end up losing quite a few kilos off of your total. So I tend to go a little bit more conservative with squats just to build those lifts up.
Absolutely, it's better to leave 2.5 kilos off the platform than 10 or 15. Ernest Smedins of Latvia jumping 10 kilos to 210. So a pretty handsome personal best for the Latvian.
Nice. Worked through that very well. 3 white lights.
Yeah, very well selected third attempt there.
Yeah, spot on from the coach.
$212.5 going for a second time for Alvar Corso of Finland. This is the last of the round 2 misses, and so far none has been corrected. Let's hope that Alvar can correct it.
Like a good squat to me. 3 white lights, he's broken the curse.
He's broken the curse, and let's hope he started some momentum for the rest of the group. We just want to see green from now on.
Yeah, that was a much better squat.
And that must be a great feeling when you make a mistake but then you manage to recover from it.
Especially at this level, it can be very hard to do that, so to stay composed like that.
4 lifts remaining, and it's Lukas Akevicius of Lithuania first, 212.5 on the bar.
Lovely lift. Again, very speedy. A little bit hard on the way up there, but
Yeah, he's just a very fast squatter, it seems.
very deep as well.
Really sings it. I think every lift went further down, which might not be optimal, but it seems to work for him. 230 kilos on the bar for Liam Hofmans of Belgium.
Lovely. Stays with the bar there very well. 3 white lights.
Yeah, another great third attempt. You want to come as close as possible to the ceiling on the day without overreaching and missing.
Yeah, and it seems he did that very well.
Philip Strand of Finland, 230 on the bar. Smaller jump of 5 kilos.
Again, just building that total, building that momentum.
And the second was pretty hard, so a bit more conservative.
And just a bit too heavy there.
Yeah, just get stuck in the hole. He didn't lose much kilos wise, was pretty much maxed out on the second attempt.
Yeah, we tend to take a bigger jump from first to second and then a slightly smaller jump from second to third.
And for the final squat of the morning session today, Nick Ben Hribar trying to add another 10 kilos to his personal best, going for 237.5.
Very strong squat there.
And a lovely finish to the session. Hribar successful at 237.5. Probably not even completely at the top end there.
No, I'd say he definitely had a bit more there.
He is just built, born for squatting though. And these are the standings as we finish off the B group of the 83 kilo sub-juniors. Nick Ben Hribar leading the squats with 237.5, with Hofmans with 230 in second, and Strand with 225 in third. Of course, all subject to change in the evening with the A group. We'll be back in about 9 minutes time. See you then. Hello and welcome back to the 2025 European Sub-Junior and Junior Classic Powerlifting Championships in Druskininkai, Lithuania, presented by Maniac Fitness. We are heading into the bench press of the 74 and 83 kilo B groups. Starting off with the 74s, we have openers ranging from 25 kilos all the way to 140. The 25, I would dare presume that it's a consequence of Krzysztof Kozak being injured somehow.
Yeah, 25 kilos is the lowest that you can put on the bar.
Just a token lift to put up a total. We'll see if he goes on or if he scratches the second and third attempts. I'm waiting for the lights, but I don't see a reason why that would be a no lift.
No, it looked good to me. Just to secure that total in there.
Yeah, he did pretty well on squats and he's looking to do pretty well on deadlift. Unfortunately, bench just not there today. Again, very probably an injury. 100 kilos now on the bar for Nojus Matukinias of Lithuania.
Comfortable opener attempt there. 3 white lights.
$107.5 on the bar for Athanasios Kotsifkas of Greece.
Very easy opener there.
Yeah, 3 white lights. And the Hungarian team has led the timer run out for the second attempt, which means it's automatically bumped to 27.5. We'll see if he comes out and does it. But to be honest, I'd either scratch or put in an attempt that's similar in weight to the other attempt, just so that the spotters don't have to unload everything off the bar. They're working super hard throughout the entire competition and you want to save them the work.
Yeah, it's a lot to do.
110 on the bar for Alexandros Proestos of Cyprus.
And 3 white lights there. Nice opening lift.
$115 now for Engin Deniz Ilter of Turkey.
Wow, very fast opening attempt. 3 white lights. There's so many things that can go wrong with bench press, so it's nice to get in a nice, easy opener.
$120 for Aivaras Paskevicius of Lithuania.
Nice, 3 white lights, nice comfortable lift. He seems happy with that.
And the same weight will stay on the bar for the next 2 attempts, first of which will be for Joseph Woodward of Ireland.
So lifters can choose to have a handout on bench or do a self handout. Here we're going for a self handout. Very speedy.
Let's wait for the lights. I saw the judges looking at his glutes there, and it's 2 yellow lights.
Bum comes up just a little bit off the bench there on the press.
And there's going to be a no lift, unfortunately. And you mentioned the self handout. What would be the pros and cons of doing a self handout or getting a handout from the head spotter?
For the self handout, I feel like you can have way more control over what's going on. Very comfortable lift there.
Comfortable at 120 for Saba Berzeni of Georgia.
But especially with those heavier weights, the handout from the spotter can take away a lot of the energy consumed to unrack it yourself. It's just it can be inconsistent at times.
And we're taking quite a jump up in weight to 140 for Nathaniel Kinzelberg of Israel. Personal best of 145. Looking at the nominations, the medals will be probably in the 150 to 160 range. So with some bigger jumps, maybe he could give himself a shot. And same goes for the next competitor.
Very nice opener there. Looks like he could definitely add more kilos to that.
Definitely comfortable.
Lovely touch at the chest as well.
And same weight for the opening attempt of Georgi Ivanov of Bulgaria.
And 3 white lights, nice consistent press there.
Yeah, not the fastest, but very much controlled.
And no wrist wraps as well.
So as things stand going into round 2, we have everyone except Woodward on the board with a bench press. Woodward unfortunately getting his lift disqualified due to lifting of the glutes. And we're starting off round 2 with 27.5 for Krzysztof Kozak of Hungary. I don't think he'll be coming out, so we're gonna take this opportunity to thank our sponsors, Maniac Fitness, for providing us with the competition equipment, the weights, the bar, the colors, the rack, even the carpet and the platform. Of course, SBD providing us athletes with exceptional competition gear, ESN, Elite Sports Nutrition, for providing us with our supplement needs, and Visit Malta for providing us with one of the most beautiful venues. We'll be there next year in February, I believe, for the Open Euros. So, hope to see you then. And we're moving on to our next lift as the clock runs out, and it's a no lift for Kozak.
Yep, and he won't be taking a third attempt either.
105 on the bar for Nojus Matukinas of Lithuania.
A conservative 5 kilo jump here. And 3 white lights. I think I'd probably go 2.5 on that.
Yeah, the 5 kilos did slow him down quite a bit there. So I'd agree the 2.5 kilo jump would be the safest option. $115 for Alexandros Proestos of Cyprus.
A little bit more work there off the chest, but 3 white lights, another good lift.
$115 on the bar for Athanasios Kotsifkas of Greece. Be a 7.5 kilo personal best.
Three white lights there. Again, a little bit harder off the chest, but I think he's got a little bit more there to give.
And now for our only athlete without a bench on the board yet, 120 going twice for Joseph Woodward of Ireland. Just needs to keep his glutes planted on the bench.
Yeah, especially on the press, it can be easy to push through the hips a little bit and the glutes come off. Very comfortable.
Yeah, I think he should be okay this time.
The thing is, when you lift your glutes off the bench on your opener, the refs are going to be looking for it on your following attempts.
As soon as there's any sort of suspicion from the referees that you might be committing a technical infringement, they will be that much more focused on that part. 122.5 on the bar for Engin Diaz Ilter of Turkey.
Very fast. 3 white lights. Definitely put a bit more weight on the bar there.
$125 for Aivaras Paskevicius of Lithuania.
Nice fight there. 3 white lights. He has a really lovely setup as well. I wouldn't go more than 2.5 on that.
Yeah, I'd agree. Clean bench, but not the fastest. 1:27.5 for Saba Berzeni of Georgia.
Again, another solid lift there. 3 white lights.
$1:45 for a matched personal best for Nathaniel Kinzelberg of Israel. His opener moved really well. I was maybe even expecting him to take a bigger jump than this, but we'll see how the second lift moves.
A little bit of a wobble there on the way up, and 2 yellows from sides ref, so potentially a bum lift there.
We're gonna see on the replay.
Yeah, just a little bit on the way up. You can see it lifts off the bench.
And that is unfortunate. It was not as easy as he would have liked.
I'm sure he'll be able to correct it on his third.
1:45 for Georgi Ivanov of Bulgaria. Oh, big fight there.
Oh, unfortunately, just missed that.
I think he might have even missed the start command.
Yeah, I did think that,
Oh,
which could have potentially thrown him off as well.
yeah, it's a no lift either way. Unfortunately, he'll be able to retake it on his third, and we're moving on into round 3. 107.5 for Nojus Matukinas of Lithuania. And if we take a look, both of the division leaders here unsuccessful on their second attempts. Minimal jump of 2.5 for Nojus, taking your advice. And it's a big fight.
Unfortunately not. Gave it a good go though. The thing with bench is it can move off the chest and then just suddenly stop.
Yeah, and with such a close grip and such long arms, bar really has a long way to travel. Athanasios Kotsifkas of Greece, 117.5, another minimal jump of 2.5.
Oh, what a fight.
They are giving it their all in round 3, but so far no successful lifts. Let's hope we can turn it around.
The thing with bench is it's the least technically forgiving lift, so one small thing can really be detrimental to the lift.
Absolutely, and you have so many things to watch out for as a referee, so many things to be careful of as a lifter. 120 on the bar for Alexandros Proestos of Cyprus.
Again, just caught off of the chest there. Unfortunately, a no lift.
Yeah, he gives it a really good go, but unfortunately a no lift there again.
Loaded.
127.5 on the bar for Aivaras Paskevicius of Lithuania.
Yeah, this is a good call for a 2.5. Just building up those kilos, as we said before. Oh, what a fight. Unfortunately, no lift there.
Mega effort, but unfortunately no lift once again, and so far only red in the third column.
Bar is reloaded. Let's go.
127.5 on the bar for Joseph Woodward.
His opener was very speedy, so I can imagine this should move well.
Yeah, just needs to keep his buttocks planted on the bench.
Lovely lift there. And 2 to 1.
A
Again, a
from the
yellow.
side. A worrying sign, but we'll see on the replay.
Jury are just taking a look at it. Well, it seems to be planted.
But don't see any sort of technical error whatsoever, so we have our first green box in the third column. Let's hope we can turn it around in this point and just have green. Deniz Ilter of Turkey, 127.5.
Lovely. And 3 white lights. Again, another good lift on the board, which we like to see.
Yeah, great third attempt.
Bar is loaded. No more chances to change the order.
132.5 for Saba Berzini of Georgia. Can he be the second competitor to go 3 for 3 in the bench here in the 74s?
Nice press there. 3 white lights.
Looks like he can. And now for our 2 division leaders in the bench press.
Bar is loaded.
They have both missed in round 2. Georgi Ivano is going to be repeating 145. Kinzelberg has upped his attempt to 150. Brave.
Yeah, that's very brave, especially on bench press. Sometimes it's worth the risk, sometimes not.
Oh, well, nothing to do but to wait and see. Georgi Ivano, 145. And it's a big fight.
Oh, just drops down on that right-hand side there.
Almost had it. I thought he was through the sticking point.
It can be very hard to grind through a bench.
Bar is loaded. Not getting out. This is your time. 5 kilo person less if successful.
And now for the brave Nathaniel Kinzelberg. Missing 145, jumping up to 150. Risky move, but it can pay off.
So 10 seconds on the clock. That moved very nice.
That looked way better than the second attempt, and that's 3 white lights. Wow, what a payoff for the risk taken.
That was definitely worth it.
That is super cool to see.
Yeah, you don't see it often with bench press, but when you do,
Very rewarding, and Kinselberg takes the provisional lead in the bench press. In the 74s, of course, the entirety of the A group to come in the afternoon, and I think that 150 will keep him towards the top, but not quite on the podium. Of course, we'll have to wait and see. A lot can still happen. And we'll be moving on into the 83 kilo B group, starting off with 97.5 on the bar for Nikita Potapenko of Estonia. Our openers going up to 137.5.
nice comfortable opener there. 3 white lights. You'll notice some lifters choose to wear a belt on bench press.
For some lifters, it does help them at least to get a feeling of tightness and compression in the abdominal area. For some, it's more of a nuisance. 105 on the bar for Lukas Akevicius of Lithuania.
Lovely. 3 white lights and another very comfortable opener.
Yeah, his bench not quite as fast as his squat, but still very comfortable. Ernest Smedins of Latvia, 107.5 on the bar.
Quite a narrow width on the bench press there, on the bar. But very comfortable. 3 white lights.
Narrower grip seems to be working for the Latvian lifter.
Yeah, definitely find that you can get a little bit more stable in the shoulders with that narrower grip.
One 12.5 on the bar for Noel Piskac of Croatia.
Lovely lift. 3 white lights. Very long range of movement there.
Yeah, those arms were made for deadlift. At least from the looks of it. We'll see how he performs. Nikolos Rakviashvili of Georgia, 120 kilos.
And 3 white lights. Nice lift there. It's quite a wide stance with the bench press.
127.5 on the bar for Philip Strand.
That was a beautiful opener there. Lovely touch at the chest.
Super comfortable for Strand. 4 opening lifts remaining. $130 for Alvar Corso of Finland. Finnish lifters going back to back.
Again, very comfortable, but a yellow from the center there.
He was playing with fire with the press command there. I think he tried to predict it, but the head referee saw that, and the jury has unfortunately overruled the lift.
Yeah, got to listen to those commands.
$132.5 on the bar for Nick Ben Hribar.
Just telling the spotter exactly how he wants that handoff. Very important to do this so that you get it exactly how you want it. Very smooth.
A really comfortable first attempt for Hribar. $135 on the bar for Liam Hofmans of Belgium. And it's 3 white lights, a good lift. 1 opener remaining. $137.5 for Dinis Cambas of Portugal.
A little bit sticky off the chest there, but made it move. And 1 yellow from the side ref.
Yellows from the side are a worry sign. We'll see the side replay here.
Didn't look like it came off the bench. Was a bit sticky off the chest, but that doesn't warrant a yellow
Yeah,
card.
I think the glute just barely stayed in contact with the bench.
Jury seemed to be happy with it though.
And starting off round 2, 102.5 for Nikita Potapenko.
Yeah, we've seen all the lifters opt for a 5 to 7.5 kilo jump from their first to second.
That is quite a fight.
Yeah, I wouldn't put too much more on the bar there, but good lift.
I think a 105 here would be the only appropriate attempt, and even that, not quite sure.
Yeah, bench really does take it out of you as well.
112.5 on the bar for Ernest Smedins of Latvia.
Lovely solid lift there. 3 white lights.
One 12.5 for Lukas Akeicius of Lithuania. First attempt was really comfortable.
Another good lift there. Moved very well.
$120 for Noel Piskac of Croatia. This will be a 5 kilo personal best.
Nice smooth lift there. 3 white lights. So he's holding onto his back, maybe overarched a little bit.
Yeah, maybe a bit of a cramp, but I'm sure the coaches know how to get rid of that. Before the next attempt, he's gonna have about 9-10 minutes, so should be okay.
Especially with that leg drive, it can cramp up your upper back a little bit.
127.5 for Nicolas Sarakviashvili. What do you make of lifters putting chalk on their glutes?
I personally don't like it, just because where you've got the light going through to show the bum lift, the white can sometimes look like the bum is like lifting. But, and I don't feel the need for a grip on the bench, on the glutes personally, but nice lift there.
One arm a bit ahead of the other, but 3 white lights and a good second attempt.
But yeah, some lifters choose to do it just purely because they feel like it might give them a little bit more traction with the bench. What are your thoughts?
I personally think it's more of an aesthetic choice for certain lifters.
Just do it to look good.
Well, I've seen some ride stuff on the back of their singlets, so 135 for Alvar Corso. His first attempt, unfortunately unsuccessful. Still opting to jump 5 kilos up.
Yeah, quite a bold move here. Oh, moved well. A little bit tough off the chest there, but 3 white lights.
And that means we have everyone on the board once again. Philip Strand of Finland, 135.
Beautiful lift again there. Very consistent. 3 white lights.
Super clean second attempt. Plenty of room to go up. $140 on the bar for Nick Ben Hribar. Is to match his personal best.
And a good lift there.
Big power of the chest.
Yeah, very powerful press there.
I would take a smaller jump to a third though.
Yeah.
142.5 on the bar for Liam Hofmans of Belgium.
Nice press there. 3 white lights. A little bit harder as it came towards the top of the lift, but
Super clean second attempt. Though I'm just a tad worried about the right elbow in the starting position. Did not seem to be fully extended. So if the referees pick up on that, he might have trouble getting a start command.
yeah, the heavier it gets as well, the harder it is to lock out those elbows.
$142.5 for the last second attempt. Dinis Cambas of Portugal. A bit of work off the chest. That is 3 white lights, and we have a full column of green in round 2.
Yeah, everyone taking pretty sensible jumps here.
And we have Cambas leading from Hoffman on bodyweight, with Hribar in third. Of course, all subject to change, because we have an A group in the evening, or the afternoon. And we have 105 on the bar for Nikita Potapenko, but the clock is running out and it seems like he's not coming out.
Only loses 2.5 kilos there, but maybe saving energy for deadlifts.
Yeah, the 102.5 was pretty hard, so saving energy, not trying to injure anything. And we have 117.5 on the bar for Lukas Akevicius of Lithuania.
Just a little bit too heavy there.
Yeah, big effort, but just a bit too much.
Almost looked like the bar kind of got away from him a little bit there as well for the chest.
Yeah, maybe a bit of positioning loss. 120 now for Ernest Smerins, taking a bigger jump from second to third than from first to second. Not something you usually see, especially not in the bench press.
Yeah, we don't tend to see that often. Oh, and
It's
he's
right on the limit.
That two-part lockout, but 3 white lights, and he got those extra kilos in there as well.
Absolutely maximal effort there. Had to lock out one arm and then the other, but the bar never dipped. $122.5, the minimal jump for Noel Piskac of Croatia.
Wow, very nice there. Definitely could have jumped a little bit more there. 3 white lights. Seems very happy with that.
$130 now on the bar for Nicolas Rakviashvili of Georgia. Sensible jump, 2.5 kilos. The second one was pretty hard.
Yeah, I think this is a good decision. Oh, and he managed to grind it up there.
Quite an effort. A blue light from the side referee. That would be for downward motion probably.
Yeah, it didn't quite look like the bar went down. It kind of got away from on that right side, but see what the jury say.
It was scrappy, but I think the bar went up. The center of the bar went up, which is the relevant part. 140 on the bar now for Alvar Korsu of Finland.
Yeah, sensible jump of 5 kilos. Nice. 3 white lights and a good lift. Coming back from missing his opener as well to hit him 140.
Yeah, absolutely great recovery for the Finnish athlete.
Puts you in a good place going into deadlifts.
Regain the momentum and just build up on it until the very last lift. 140 for Philippe Strand.
All his lifts have looked very consistent so far. Another beautiful lift there. 3 white lights. Yep.
Great consistency. great lifting, and we have 3 bench presses remaining in this morning session.
Final attempt for Big Ben, 142.5 kilos.
142.5 for Nick Ben Hribar of Slovenia. Minimal jump seems to be the reasonable decision after the second attempt, which was solid but not very easy.
Oh, that moved very well.
Yeah, great third attempt, 3 white lights, a small personal best, and just keep building that total up. Two attempts remaining, 145 for Liam Hofmans of Belgium.
Oh, go on. Ah, just got caught there.
Yeah, big grind, but he's not leaving anything on the platform. He took the minimal jump, could not make it.
Yeah, not missing out on much there. That right elbow again, a little bit soft at the start.
And one final bench press in the morning session, 147.5 for Dinis Cambas of Portugal.
See, he's wearing knee sleeves for bench press, which you don't see often.
And it's a big effort, but unfortunately too heavy for Cambas. And that wraps up the 83 kilo sub-junior B group bench, with Hribar ultimately taking the bench press lead before the A group arrives. Hoffman's in second on bodyweight, no, Cambas in second on bodyweight, and then Hoffman's in third, again on bodyweight. We'll be back in about 9 minutes time. See you then. Hello and welcome back to the 2025 European Sub-Junior and Junior Classic Powerlifting Championships in Druskininkai, Lithuania. We have the deadlifts ahead of us of the 74 and 83 kilo Sub-Junior B groups. Here we have the bench results in the 74 kilo Sub-Juniors. Kinselberg with a brave jump after missing his second attempt got a 150 on his third. We'll see how that stands up to the A group in the afternoon, but we are starting off the deadlifts with Alexandros Proestos of Cyprus, 187.5 on the bar, openers ranging up to 235 for Kozak.
Nice opener there, 3 white lights.
Saba Berzeni of Georgia, 190.
An easy opener, a good lift.
$192.5 for Athanasios Kotsifkas of Greece.
Lovely speedy lift there. Have to be careful with sumo, not going too quickly so it catches you off at the top.
Yeah, you can get a sort of a speed wobble at the top of the sumo. You see, he almost loses his balance there at the top. Gonna want to be careful of that.
Yeah, hopefully when the weight goes up, easier.
200 kilos for Nathaniel Kinselberg of Israel.
And a little bit of a wobble there at the top, so it's a little bit unstable, and 2 blues from side and center. Like
I don't think jury will be intervening on that one. The wobble or the downward motion of the bar here was pretty clear. Also losing his balance towards the top.
yeah, you saw his top of his foot actually come off the floor there at the top of the lift.
210 on the bar for Nojus Matukinas of Lithuania.
Nice pull. Yeah, with sumo we've got to be really patient from the floor just to break off the floor and keep it in the legs.
$210 on the bar for Joseph Woodward of Ireland.
Another good lift there, nice pull.
Super snappy towards the lockout.
And going for a hook grip as well.
Yeah, if we take a look at that in slow motion, he locks his knees very early. Let's hope it doesn't hinder him with the heavier weights. Same weight, 210 on the bar for Georgi Ivanov of Bulgaria.
Very easy.
$215 now for Engin Deniz Ilter of Turkey. 15 kilo personal best for an opening attempt, not bad.
Yeah, you'll find with the sub-juniors that they tend to make a lot quicker progress. A little bit sticky at the top there. But 3 white lights, good lift.
Yeah, the lockout I thought was borderline there. Could have been a red. We'll see again on the replay.
Yeah, it almost looks like he just got caught on the leg a little bit.
He should be just about all right there, but he's going to want to be careful. 220 on the bar for Aivaras Paskevicius of Lithuania.
Wow, that was fast.
Super fast, 3 white lights. Now a question, was that too easy for an opening attempt? And is there such a thing as too easy an opener?
Well, the thing with deadlift is you can take the much bigger jumps, so sometimes people tend to opt for a bit easier. Also, comp day, tends to feel a bit less fatigued from everything, the deload, so
235 for the final opener for Krzysztof Kozak of Hungary.
one red from the side there, potentially at the lockout.
Let's see on the replay. I think the issue might have been the shoulders or the hips.
Yeah, I was thinking the hips, but on the line there.
After round 1, we have everyone except Kinzelberg with a deadlift on board and a total secured. Kinzelberg will have another shot at 200, but we start with Alexandros Proestas of Cyprus going for 195.
Another good lift there. A little bit harder towards the end, but
A bit of a fight. He has pretty large quads, which means they kind of tend to stop the bar. You can see there. But he works through it.
that's why we love talcum powder.
200 kilos now, going twice for Nathaniel Kinzelberg of Israel. Issues on the first attempt. Can he recoup and do it better for a second?
Yeah, a lot more controlled there, a lot more stable.
Way better looking, and that's 3 white lights. He's on the board, everyone is on the board with a total.
Yeah, it's always sensible to retake the opener, especially when it's coming to deadlifts. You can make that bigger jump there.
$200 stays on the bar for Saba Berzini of Georgia.
Good lift. Quite a backy lifter.
Yeah, kind of a strongman style of pull.
Yeah.
Rolling the bar towards himself. That's usually what you see with the 190 plus kilo beasts.
Yeah, you usually see it with the super heavyweights.
Yeah, not a 74 kilo sub junior, but if it works, it works. Athanasios Kotsifkas of Greece, 210 kilos. Pretty sizable jump, 17 and a half.
Nice. Another comfortable lift there. 3 white lights. We tend to see a lot of the lighter lifters opt for that sumo stance.
You'd actually be surprised, especially in the women's lightweight sub-juniors, how much conventional we've been seeing at these championships.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I definitely was. But yeah, the lighter lifters tend to gravitate towards the sumo because it's more technical, keeps you more upright, you don't have as much mass around the core to keep it stable. 220 on the bar for Nojus Matukinas of Lithuania.
Wow. Really nice and patient from the floor there. And it's a good lift. He really stuck with it.
Yeah, 3 white lights. That was pretty hard for a second attempt. But he was extremely patient, I have to say.
Yeah, with sumo, as long as you can hold that position from the floor, the lockout tends to be smooth. So if you tend to lose it or let your hips come up too soon, that's when you get a bit sticky near the top.
$222.5 on the bar for Joseph Woodward, Ireland.
A little bit sticky at the top there, but was patient from the floor.
Let's see the lights here. It's 2 blue lights, unfortunately. See on the replay, it seemed to me like he kind of had to go for a second pull almost to lock it out.
Yeah, it looked like his knees kind of locked and unlocked to try and get out
And
there.
that is considered supporting on the thighs, unfortunately. 222.5. Oh, and the jury has overruled it to a good lift. Diligent work from the jurors, and Engin Diaz Ilter going for 222.5.
Nice second attempt there.
Yeah, 3 white lights. I think the lockout was better than on his first attempt. Georgi Ivano going for 225.
Another smooth pull, but a red from the center, eventually on lockout. Did wonder about the left shoulder.
We're gonna see on the replay. I think that should be just about passable.
Yeah.
Let's see what the jury thinks. I think they are not gonna take action here. And we have Aivaras Paškevičius of Lithuania, 240 on the bar.
Yeah, I think it's got to be quite obvious of the lockout for the center ref. Wow, another speedy pull there.
3 white lights. but he's still gonna want to be mindful of the balance towards the top.
Yeah, he could definitely load it a lot more.
$250 now on the bar for Krzysztof Kozak of Hungary.
Lovely lift.
Yeah, practically identical to the first attempt. And if he can push into the 260s, might be in with a chance at a deadlift podium.
Yep, we've seen it before where people have taken medals from the B group.
There is nothing I love more in powerlifting than a B group medal. Or there might be one thing, a C group medal.
Oh wow, have you seen that?
Once, I think there was a bench press group, a bench press medal from the C group, but it's a very, very rare occasion.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
$200 kilos on the bar for Alexandros Proestos. It's a big fight, but he's pulling through.
Nice, 3 white lights. That's a good thing about conventional, you can grind it out.
As long as you stay in position, you keep the tension, you keep the brace, you can grind through.
Or if you have a strong back.
Or if you have a strong back, yeah. We're going to have 205 on the bar for Saba Berzeni of Georgia. Of course, the bar being cleaned in between each and every third attempt.
Only 5 kilo jump here. Again, red from the side, potentially at that lockout. Thing is, when you've got shorter arms, it can get a little bit more sticky towards the top of the deadlift.
Yeah, I think it should be alright, but we'll
Yeah.
see if the jury says anything about it.
Yeah, I think that looked good. Jury seems to be happy with it.
Great then, and we are on to Athanasos Kotsifkas of Greece, 220 on the bar for his final pull.
Nice. Lovely second attempt. But a blue on the side.
We're gonna take a look at the replay, see what the blue could have been for. It would be either supporting on the thighs or downwards movement of the bar.
I wouldn't have said it was supporting.
Yeah, if anything it was supporting, but we'll see if the jury does anything about it. Doesn't seem like they will.
Sometimes it can look like it's supporting when it's dragging up the leg a little bit, but that looks fine to me.
And a pretty large jump for Nathaniel Kinzelberg of Israel, 225, a 25 kilo jump for 25 kilo personal best in deadlift.
Yeah, I expected to see a big jump here, especially missing the opener attempt. And it's moving. Oh.
That is unfortunate.
He really held on there. Do you see by the fingertips?
Yeah. Oh, I hope did the bar fall on his
Almost like
foot?
leant into his right side. Oh, very close.
Just barely misses the fingers there.
Nearly lost a toe there.
That would have been unpleasant. I can speak from experience. 227.5 on the bar for Nojus Matukinas of Lithuania.
Oh, he's fighting. Fortunately, not today.
Patient off the floor, but I think it was just too big of a jump from that second.
With sumo, if it's just too heavy, it will stick to the floor.
227.5 for a matched personal best for Joseph Woodward.
Looks like he's got it.
3 white lights, and he does get it. Matched PB for the Irishman.
Yeah, that was a spot-on number.
If successful, bar is loaded.
230 on the bar now for engine Denise Ilter.
Nice. Locks it out. 3 white lights. He seems very happy with that.
Yeah, super confident third attempt.
240 kilos on the bar. Huge personal best if successful. 15 kilos. The bar is loaded.
240 on the bar now for another 15 kilo jump for Georgi Ivanov of Bulgaria. Let's see if that lockout was sufficient, and 2 of the referees seem to think it wasn't. The jury will review the lift.
Yeah, it looked like it was just on the line there with the shoulders, but from this angle, it looks pretty good. But you can never tell from the different angles. But
And the jury does overrule it to a good lift. That is great to see, and we have 2 lifts remaining in the 74s.
It's always nice to see a overrule in the lifter's favour.
260 on the bar for Krzysztof Kozak of Hungary.
That was a lovely lift.
Yeah, nice and clean once again. 3 white lights. And now for the final pull in the 74 kilo B group, it's going to be Aivaras Paškevičius of Lithuania, 262.5. This will be the heaviest deadlift of the 74 kilo B group, and it will give him a somewhat realistic chance of staying towards the top, depending on what the A group does.
Lovely.
And it's 3 white lights.
All his lifts have moved very, very comfortably.
Great third attempt there for the Lithuanian, taking both the deadlift and the total lead before the A group comes in the afternoon. And there you have the results. Pashkevicius in deadlift lead for the time being, with Kozak in a pretty close second and Ivano in third with 240. We're going to be heading straight into the 83s. Just need to clean the bar and load it for the first competitor, who will be Ernest Smedins of Latvia, 140 kilos, with openers going all the way up to 255 for Filip Strand.
Easy opener there. 3 white lights.
Georgia, Nicolas Rakviashvili.
180 on the bar for Nicolas Rakviashvili of Georgia. He's 16 years of age, been competing since he was 13.
That's insane. Lovely lift.
3 white lights. And a fun fact, when I was 13, we didn't even have an IPF Powerlifting Federation in Slovenia.
No way. I didn't even know what powerlifting was at 13.
Me neither. Deadlift would probably mean some sort of necromancy back then. 182.5 on the bar for Nikita Potapenko of Estonia.
Another comfortable lift. 3 white lights.
The bar is low. Platform from Lithuania, Lukas
Lukas
Akevicius.
Akevicius of Lithuania going for 215, already a 10 kilo personal best.
Very easy 10 kilo personal best as well.
Well, such is the case with the sub-juniors. They tend to make rapid progress.
The bar is low. From Finland, Edvard Korsu.
225 for Alvar Korsu of Finland.
Very smooth deadlift there.
Low. From Slovenia,
Nick Ben Hribar of Slovenia now, 230 kilos. Just 2.5 off his personal best. Another sub-junior making rapid gains.
And a good lift. Nice
Kind,
pull there.
kind of a power sumo.
Yeah.
Can't really find the technical terms to describe it.
Really push through the floor with his legs there.
230 on the bar for Dinis Kambas.
Nice. Very nice opener again. Seems some very comfortable openers in this group so far.
Which is great to see. Obviously you want the athletes to be able to push into second and third attempts, reach their max, not try and fight to stay in the competition.
Yeah.
Noel Piskac of Croatia, 240 kilos on the bar.
Lovely fall. We did say those arms were for deadlifting.
And we were indeed correct. $242.5 on the bar for Liam Hofmans of Belgium.
Nice. Very, very nice lift. I think we're going to see some big jumps from first to seconds here.
Absolutely. The weights in the deadlift are the biggest. Usually the jumps are also the biggest. 255 on the bar for Philippe Strand. Personal best of 270. He'd have to break it by quite a lot to be in the game for a deadlift podium here, but we'll see how the first one moves and how big of a jump he makes.
Yeah, he's had a great day so far. Wow,
That is super comfortable.
that was very speedy.
That is super, super comfortable. I'm expecting the top three deadlifts to be somewhere in the neighborhood of 290, so it still takes some very big jumps for Strand to get there, but I'm not counting it out completely.
Yeah, you never know, especially when the A group are going to be fighting for podium. You sometimes see a lot of misses on those third attempts.
That is also true, yeah. And after round one, we have a beautiful sight before our eyes. Everyone has put up a total.
A sea of green, that's what we like to see.
$150 on the bar for Ernest Smedins of Latvia.
Nice, lovely 10 kilo jump there.
Solid second attempt, and I'm noticing a lack of white powder on his quads.
Some people just don't like to wear talcum powder. I know some people get like don't like the feeling of it on their legs, but personally I just whack it all on.
And what is it used for perhaps our viewers who are not so familiar with powerlifting?
Yeah, so the talcum powder tends to make the bar a bit like it makes it a bit more smoother going up the legs, where it can get a little bit sticky, where either you're sweaty or the friction against your legs. It just takes that away.
Nicolas Rakviashvili of Georgia, 195.
Nice lift there. And 3 white lights. Seems happy with that. But yeah, not to get the talc confused with chalk, as I've seen some lifters do, which will do the opposite effect of what you want.
Yeah, chalk helps with grip, talcum powder reduces grip. It's also not a good idea to slap your talked up thighs before going out for a deadlift.
Yeah, any talc on the hands can make your grip go.
Nikita Potapenko, 195.
A little bit harder from the knees there. But a good lift nevertheless. Again, no talc on the thighs.
.230 on the bar for Lukas Akevicius of Lithuania.
Lovely second attempt there. 3 white lights.
.240 on the bar now for Alvar Korsu.
Nice. Kept it in the legs very well there. 3 white lights.
Yeah, comfortable enough. Second attempt sets him up for a personal best on the third, which would kind of be the default formula of attempt selection at a powerlifting comp if your training has been going well. .245 on the bar for Dinis Cambas of Portugal.
And he locks it out, but
Struggle.
slipping a little bit on the right hand there as well. 2 blues and a yellow. Let's have a look at the replay.
And the blues for downward motion, I think it was pretty obvious. The yellow I'm not so sure about, perhaps skipping the down command, because the bar did start slipping from his hands pretty obviously there. 247.5 for a 15 kilo personal best on the second attempt for Nick Ben Hribar of Slovenia. Had a great competition so far, looking for a strong finish here.
It's a bit too hard at the knees there. That's where you can get caught out with sumo.
17.5 kilo jump seems to be a bit too ambitious for Nick. He's gonna have another go at it in round 3.
Yeah, it really takes it out of your lower back there when you get caught at the knees like that.
.255 now for Noel Piskac of Croatia. 10 kilo personal best here.
Wow, super speedy. And good lift. Seems to be cramping a little bit on his right side there.
Oh, I don't think he was doing a weight cut. He weighed in 79.75 kilos. Usually, cramps can come from lack of electrolytes due to a water cut, but I don't think that's the case with him.
Or just a bit of tension, especially through the lats when you're locking into the lift.
262.5 for Liam Hofmans of Belgium. 7.5 kilo PB on a second attempt.
Nice and consistent pull there.
Yeah, very tidy pull there. And now for a very big jump. As we see the replay, the spotters are loading up 285 kilos, a 30 kilo jump for Philippe Strand.
His opener did move very well.
Yeah, if 285 moves well here, he has a chance to put something up on the board that the A group guys are gonna have to chase with their third attempt.
Wow. That was solid.
Yeah, the lockout was a bit segmented, but I think it should be okay. A red light from the right side referee. We'll take a look at the
Lockout.
replay. I don't see anything wrong with the lockout there.
Looks good to me.
Another 10 kilos? 15 maybe?
Yeah, I'd say 10 to 12 kilos there.
So the standings going into round 3, Strand with a pretty huge second attempt of 285, leading from Hofmans and Piscach. Same with the totals. Philippe Strand leading from Hofmans, this time in third place Nick Ben Gribar. Starting off round 3 with 160 for Ernest Smedins of Latvia.
Lovely third attempt there.
Yeah, very tidy. 3 white lights.
Can see Strand has put in 302.5 for his third.
That is higher than any of the nominated deadlifts in the 83 kilo sub-juniors.
Would be really good to see a B group lifter take a deadlift medal. The thing is, the A group will be chasing those numbers, so they can go 2.5 above that.
200 kilos for the final toll of Nikolos Rakviashvili of Georgia. Has to work for the lockout, but it's a good lift.
Yeah, it's a good lift.
Same weight, 200 kilos on the bar for Nikita Potapenko of Estonia.
Just a bit heavy there. You can see his knees locked out a bit prematurely as well.
Yeah, pretty pronounced knee cave from the right side.
Yeah, that's happened from his opener. Bit of valgus collapse there.
Wow, big science terms there. Two 42.5 on the bar for Lukas Akevicius, Lithuania. This will be a big personal best.
Come on, Lucas. Lithuania, make some noise for Lucas.
Nice, locks it out. Refs say 3 white lights.
Very clean, nice third attempt there from the Lithuanian.
Yeah, number selection was spot on there.
And the bar is loaded for Portugal. Denise Kempers.
2:45 now, going for a second time for Denis Cambas of Portugal. Technical error on the second attempt.
I think the second just probably took it out of him too much.
That is unfortunate.
Yeah, it's a shame with deadlifts as you end up losing so much off your total.
Now for another competitor repeating their second attempt, Nick Ben Hribar of Slovenia. Second attempt just seemed really heavy for him, but perhaps with the extra shot of adrenaline for a third attempt he can make it.
It's moving.
Oh, it's
he
looking
got
better.
Got it past that sticking point, and 3 white lights.
3 white lights, what an effort there. Great recovery after a very clear miss on a second attempt, and it's a big personal best for Hribar in deadlift and in total.
Yeah, especially with sumo, like a small technical change can make such a big difference. He really got past that sticking point there.
250 on the bar for Alvar Korsu. Small personal best, but a personal best is a personal best.
Come on, Alvar, you got it.
It's moving. Nice.
3 white lights and a good lift for the Finn.
Yeah, coming back after missing your second, that's, again, great to see.
Three lifts remaining in this morning session. Noel Piskac of Croatia, 265 on the bar to add another 10 kilos to his personal best.
Yeah, his second attempt moved very well, so expect to see this as well. little bit of a wobble at the top there, but it did move well up till then.
And unfortunately, there's 3 red lights.
Downward movement from the centre ref there.
That is unfortunate.
I think the knees are a little bit soft at the top of the lockout
Yeah.
as well.
And the jury can't do anything about it because it's a 3 red lights, no lift. 280 on the bar now for Liam Hofmans of Belgium. Another massive personal best if he can manage this.
Oh, it's moving. Ah, unfortunately, it's a bit too heavy.
Yeah, it's a big effort, but it was a big jump. And unfortunately too heavy. We have one final lift remaining, however, in this morning session. And it's going to be an even bigger one. It's going to be one that can bring us a B group medal potentially. It's going to be 302.5 kilos. This will be a 27.5 kilo personal best, I believe, in this competition for Philip Strand. Oh, maybe perhaps 32.5, not 100% sure, but a massive personal best and a chance at a deadlift medal. 302.5 on the bar for Philip Strand for Finland. Can he do it?
Oh, and he's locking it out. He locks it out. Wow,
And his 3 white lights, he can.
that is great to see.
He
That is
can.
huge.
That is massive. 302.5 is higher than any of the nominated deadlifts in the 83 kilo class. So we'll have to see how the afternoon session plays out, but he's in a great position right now. Obviously taking gold in the 83 B group. Everything subject to change. With Hoffman's currently in second and Piscach in third. Current overall standings: Strand at 667.5 in first, Hoffmans with 635 in second, and Hribar with 627.5 in third. Again, subject to change after the afternoon session. Thank you so much for being with me here this morning, Sophia.
Thank you for having me.
It was an absolute pleasure. Join us back at 3 p.m. for the A groups. We'll see you then.